The Good Neighbour is a movie about two guys, Ethan and Sean, who are working on a project for some sort of college course, and they have decided to do a psychological experiment on the neighbour across the street from where they stay. They decide to break into his house one day when he's out shopping, plant cameras and devices all over his house, and then slowly start to make it appear as if he is being haunted. And they are recording this through the cameras, talking to the cameras themselves, and the kind of things escalate a little bit further than they were probably hoping for. The Good Neighbour is a fun, interesting thriller that was something I wasn't expecting and I found rather enjoyable. I like the two leads of Ethan and Sean. You've got one who's kind of straight-laced and you've got one that's a little bit wacky and a little bit out there and wants to take the test as far as he can. And then you've got James Caan, always fantastic, as the grumpy old neighbour who doesn't really interact with anything or anyone. He has a particularly hard role because he is all shot through sort of cameras placed about his house. He doesn't really interact, like I said, and most of the time he's just sitting, walking about. Yet he imbues this character with a lot of pathos and some interesting qualities, things that you go, like, this guy's a little bit different or reacts a little bit different to other things than most people would, which makes it a little bit suspenseful and a little bit curious as to why he's acting the way he's acting. The two guys are shooting this on cameras, and it's kind of like a bit of a found footage movie, but not wholly, because it does sink into regular techniques whenever the guys are hanging about their room, but whenever it's in the neighbour's house, it's always through these CCTV cameras they've set up. And there's a lot of change of frame rates in this as well. There'll be black borders around the screen, it'll disappear, it'll stretch out, it'll shrink small, and I found this a little bit grating when I was watching it. It was constantly changing and I was constantly aware of it, and it was snapping me out of this really nice thriller sort of mood that was happening, that I was getting into with this movie. There is another conceit within the movie. It's flashing to a court case that's happening where something about this experiment has gone severely wrong. You don't know what. It's something you find out near the end, and it keeps jumping back and interlacing this story with some tidbits of information that just sort of reevaluates things that we've just seen. And it feels almost as if it's been aimed as it could have been a true story, but definitely isn't. So you pretty much just have this low budget movie with a great star in it, and you have these three characters, two of which are constantly interacting and one that just stays alone. You have all these interesting camera techniques, but the thing I enjoyed most about this was the interaction between the characters as they begin to realise why one of them is doing this and wants to take it further than he is, and why the other one starts to get a little bit hesitant and a little bit worried about what they're doing, but they've kind of started this train and they can't stop it. And you get this slow build of tension throughout the movie that rises and rises as it keeps jumping to this court case, and you realise roughly where this is going to end. And it does have a little twist at the end, which you may figure out, you may not figure out, but it adds a new spin to the movie again. And ultimately, I really did like The Good Neighbour. More than I was expecting. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed the characters. I liked the thrilling conceit, and I was wondering where it was going to get to or how it was going to escalate. And I enjoyed the final third of the movie as well. I gave The Good Neighbour 3.5 out of 5. Well worth a watch. One of these movies that just appeared on Netflix will probably just skate by with a lot of people never really watching it. But those that do will go, you know what? I kind of liked that movie, The Good Neighbour. That was good. So please check it out. And if you've seen it, let me know in the comment box what you thought of it. And I will see you next time on Man vs. Film.